All right, smart ass. Why don't you talk about a thing?
I'm going to talk about Borderlands 2.
Borderlands 2. Okay, that's quite old.
Yes, and Guild Wars isn't.
Touché.
I've been playing Borderlands 2 co-op with my girlfriend because it's our current co-op game.
Yep.
I have one important thing to say about that game.
Yeah.
God, that game is long, isn't it?
It takes a while.
It does.
There's quite a few reversals and twists and whole more sets of zones just after you think you've done it.
Yeah, I completely forgot it took so long. It's taken us weeks and weeks
It's
and
quite
weeks.
a journey. I remember the first game taking quite a while as well in a similar manner. You go slogging along the various areas, we'll get into what you think is the end and then, oh no, there's a whole load more stuff we need to do.
Yeah, still, it's a very enjoyable game. It's amusing, it looks great, and it's usually clips along at a lovely pace.
I think it's a genius idea to go with that cell shade style.
Yeah.
The very Borderlands look, as it were. Because apparently it was originally supposed to be an ultra-realistic World of Brown type shooter in its early development stages.
Yeah, that would just be terrible.
Somebody had a genius idea to just go crazy with the colours and hard edges of everything.
Yeah, the game does have two main flaws, though. Mm-hmm. The first is the loot system.
Yes.
Which is... I know you think it's a feature, but it's just bollocks.
18 billion types of gun. Okay.
Okay, but I found this one 2 hours ago.
17.5 billion of those useless.
Yeah. It gave me a great one, and now nothing you're giving me as quest rewards or anything is close to what I need.
Yeah, but I don't know what... They must have designed that loot generation system with some kind of progression curve, because I'm pretty sure the guns, as a whole, on average, the guns you get later in the game are more powerful.
Oh, they do go up, yes, but occasionally you'll just find one which is so much better that you will forget looking at the rest of the loot because it's not going to be great for ages.
Yeah.
Up until the point where the trash starts to become useful again.
Yeah, I remember in the first game I came across a sniper rifle about 2/3 the way in, and I'm still using it about 1/3 the way into the new game plus.
Yeah.
So, you sort of give up on loot at that point. You look in hope each time a sniper rifle drops, but no.
And the other problem is when you are playing through and not doing the side missions, there's a couple of points where there is a very clear... now go away, level up and come back.
It assumes you're going to do every side mission.
Well, it assumes you're going to be doing more. And especially towards the end, the last two missions, there's a jump from the third to last mission to the penultimate mission where it needs a couple of extra levels than you need to do that mission. And that is a whole, right, okay, we might finish this tonight. It's going to be great. We can move on and play another game. It's brilliant. We can not be playing Borderlands anymore. And wham, oh no, we got to go and then spend an entire evening leveling up.
Go and grind, effectively.
Yeah.
Because the zones reset and scale to some degree? Or
not really, no.
No, you just keep going...
No, we just had to run off and do some other missions. We had loads of missions that we could do.
Oh, well, yeah. I don't think it's unreasonable to expect you to have done some of the side missions.
No, I think that you should be able to get through the entire main plot missions. And if in a game that length, just playing through the plot should be okay. Yeah, you shouldn't have to go off and do the
someone like me who goes and scours every square centimetre of the quest log will come back to the end mission just ridiculously overpowered. Because the progression curve means that I've been paid out.
Then you make the progression curve work properly then.
More scaling, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, it just, you get to the point where you're thinking, right, this game's nearly over, then bam. You're getting a bit fed up with it because it's a bit too long.
I think you're just a bit impatient.
It's taken too many weeks to get this far, and you're getting a bit fed up with it because it's a little bit samey, and the combat doesn't really change, and the game doesn't really shake itself up in any way whatsoever.
But are you not enjoying the base skill of your own ability to handle the weapons and to deal with the various types of
enemies to start with. But it's just going on too long now. The game has overstayed its welcome and is actively going out of its way to overstay it longer.
I think that's an attention problem for you. I could happily do that kind of thing. Why am I not still playing it? Good point. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Why haven't you finished the New Game Plus?
I got bored.
Yeah.
Something more interesting came along, certainly.
Yeah, the game itself is a very, very... well put together shooter, and it plays well, but all it is a well put together shooter. It doesn't throw anything else at you that's that interesting.
Well, would you want a sudden vehicle level or suddenly now it's an RTS? I know you got the...
It does have sudden vehicle levels.
Yeah, but they're largely optional.
Yeah. No, it's plots in the twists in the plot you cared about The plot isn't that engaging.
The plot goes out the window the first time you've played through and seen it, to be honest. I mean, it's not as if it even has a play again as Paragon mode or whatever.
The plot goes out the window after the first couple of things. You don't really care about all this. Okay, now we're going to go revenge so-and-so's death and do these, and could you go get me some drinks, and do this.
Well, this is what I've said before. I mean, I generally prefer games that take themselves seriously, because if they're already mocking themselves on the first application of the plot, it's good to have humour, I suppose. A funny game with bonkers plot, but eventually you get something that goes on in Borderlands 2, the length of it, you're going to get about a third of the way in and it's all just so bonkers and out there. You just stop worrying about anything or caring anyway and just shoot stuff.
Yeah, the plot,
and that's fine if you just want to shoot stuff.
Yeah, the plot isn't compelling enough to pull me through.
Yeah, the plot is an excuse to be there shooting stuff.
And, I really don't hate Handsome Jack enough to want to kill him.
He's quite a likeable character in a way. Yeah. I don't know. I found myself quite looking forward to a point where I could pistol whip him around the back of the head and stomp him to the curb at some point, because a lot of what goes on through the plot. But when he's one of the more entertaining figures you meet during the thing, it's difficult to put him up there as a nemesis who must be destroyed.
And everyone else you're dealing with is a really, really rubbish Vault Hunter.
Yeah, and they're all insane in their weird, quirky ways, and you're thinking, all right, whatever.
Yeah, okay, he's a sniper who drinks too much. Has a thing for his bird.
I don't know, I quite liked seeing the main characters from the first game turn up as important plot NPCs in the second game.
That was nice, yes.
It's quite a nice touch.
They aren't built up enough as characters that you care about. And any care you had for them from the first game goes away.
Well, you hadn't really, unless I suppose there are some people who role play their sessions through Borderlands, but they must be quite few and far between. So they are just the usual faceless ciphers with no voice and a gun attached to their heads. It's the usual sort of how do we empathise or care about the first-person character in a first-person shooter, and often you don't, and that has to all be done through external cutscenes and exposition, which Borderlands doesn't really bother itself with a lot, and that's a conscious choice, I think. I don't think it sets out to be this big Citizen Kane of game-playing narrative. It's just, a fun shooter, and most people respect it as such. It's very good with multiplayer.
I think it's great. It's a brilliant co-op game.
Good.
Technically great. It's taking too long.
That's, I think, partly your fault, really.
Yeah, no, it is partly my fault, but the pacing is wrong. And it feels...
Have you been trained into much shorter games? Is this the thing? Pretty much everything else of that class is usually only over in about 10 hours.
Yeah, or 10, 15 hours. I think I am.
You're just used to it being quicker.
And I'm happier with that shorter length of game. Because this game doesn't have enough in there to fill that time. It's long, but it doesn't have enough content, really, to make it feel like that time's well spent. It just feels like it's long for the sake of it.
Yeah. Oh, stop playing. You feel you have to finish it?
Do have to finish it.
There you go.
Going to finish it this week. It's going to be great.
I mean, in all these discussions, ultimately the answer is always, well, if it isn't fun, don't do it. But there's more complicated reasons, like why would anyone play an MMO past the first 20 levels?
Why would anyone play the first 20 levels in an MMO knowing what the levels past that are like?
Well, you decide when to stop when you've had enough. But if you feel like you've almost got to the end, there's a temptation to keep pushing and perhaps keep going somewhat longer than you would have otherwise done. And, it's that sunk cost fallacy sort of thing.
It's the principle of the thing.
Yeah,
it needs finishing.
You feel like you want to finish it.
Yeah, it has to be finished.
Okay, well, good luck. Keep going. You'll hang in there. Where are you anyway? Where's your most recent point?
Oh, we are trying to go on that pipeline-y bit with the... control terminal thingies, and we're trying to get towards the end mission.
Oh, you're not too far off.
No, it's the penultimate mission.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
you'll do it.
I know I will. Yeah. Be fine. I won't kill anyone.
Do you remember the boss fight?
Yes. Yes.
Actually, I found that boss fight on the end of 2 much more agreeable than the boss fight at the end of 1.
The boss fight at the end of 1
was insane. That's right. I got to the end of my New Game Plus and got to the boss fight at the end of the second playthrough, and it's insane. I'm playing with a sniper character.
You don't do that.
Yeah, Mordecai, whatever, the sniper, and yeah, you got the big spoiler alert for the end of Borderlands 1, everyone. The vault is opened, and basically a big sort of Lovecraftian horror full of tentacles and eyes pops out, and you have to spend the next 2 days. Well, I mean, even on the first playthrough in normal game mode, it takes quite a lot of work. They basically decided to throw out all the sort of intricate finesse and accessibility and fun and lightheartedness of the whole game, and just throw in this wall of hit points at the end. It just does this shoot the red globes thing, and occasionally shoots spikes, and they're easy to dodge, and it just rinse and repeat to keep shooting the vulnerable bits until it runs out of hit points. But in the New Game Plus mode, it has such a vast amount of hit points. And as a sniper, I think I might have the wrong weapon or something. Anyway, it's the only time I can recall in any game ever where I've got bored of fighting the boss fight at the end. It wasn't rage quit. It's not too difficult. It's not that, I can't do this, but I lack sufficient skill. I'm so tired of shooting the same blobs over and over. So I literally just stopped mid-boss fight and walked away. It wasn't even a rage quit. It was like, what's a falling asleep quit? I don't know.
I've had enough, I'm going away.
Yeah, all right. You know what? You win. That's how evil can defeat good, is just have vastly more hit points than there is ever any interest or ammunition to deal with. But yes, so Borderlands 2 boss fight, much better. It's a bit more of the traditional sort of thing. He's not got an infinite amount of hit points, has various different phases. You'll be able to do it.
Yeah, I sort of remember it.
Yeah. So I think you'll be all right if you get there.
I'll probably get there.
Yeah. Cool.
Anyway, that's Borderlands.